Hello everybody, welcome back to Mickey's Macabre. My name is Mickey, and in today's video we're going to be going over some ghost videos. I've been wanting to do paranormal videos for the longest time and react to them and give my thoughts on what I would do as someone who has experienced the paranormal throughout my life. There are moments where as a kid I ran, as a teenager I froze, and as an adult I was like, what the hell is that? And vice versa here and there. And in this video we're going to be reacting to Bizarrebub. I've always consumed his content. I've always watched this. So this story, like I may just react to this one because this one is fucking insane. This one's great. So this video is Scary Compilation of Volume 109. And I remember watching this when it came out and I was like, I need to cover this. I need to cover this and I need to cover this because it's a fucking crazy ass story because they capture it all on tape and it's an Airbnb. And if you've seen the movie Barbarian, this is kind of the same thing without the fucking monster, but it's fucking crazy. Let's get into it. Watch this.
On November 14 of 2025, a small family rents out an Airbnb for a few days, unaware that they would encounter something very unsettling while staying there. They had booked the place in advance for an upcoming wedding that was out of town, so staying here made sense. But one night, after coming back from walking their dog, this happens.
We were just out walking my dog. And
already
when we came in, we heard.
The dog's gonna do this throughout the video, so. And I'm thinking maybe there's a treat there, maybe there is something the dog is smelling. Well, who knows? But the dog is just always on the staircase. I make hand gestures all the time. Sorry. Okay. The window could be open. I tried to at least try to figure out a logical reasoning to things happening. Some things can just be the window being open and blowing breeze. The other thing can just be like the temperature changes in, the room. I have a bookshelf right here and it cracks all the time because of the temperature change. I have the window open. Sometimes it gets hot in here with all these lights and sometimes it gets cold because I just leave the window open. But that's how it is. So I try to at least find a logical reason for what's happening. Let's get back to the video. See, window's open. I think she might be standing on. Whoa. Again, there's a breeze, so I don't know if the balloons are reacting to it. Okay, that sounds like. Fuck. That sounds like somebody's walking.
The leash on her dog's collar suddenly jolts up in a quick motion before wrapping itself around her dog. It just flings up as if someone had chucked it upwards, but clearly no one is seen on the stairs to have done that, which is very odd considering that just moments ago this was heard.
That sounds like someone running up the stairs.
Now, Sydney, who recorded this video, was just as baffled as the Airbnb host who received this video from her. But this wouldn't be the only video she sends, because the next day, while placing the leash on the stairs to see if it would jump again, this is captured.
No, fuck. See, okay, the thing is, there's video evidence of this. There's video evidence of this. Look at this thing. I remember watching this story fucking just trip me out. And homeboy just goes back on there.
There she goes again.
Girl. Sorry, it's a girl.
I don't think the leash is gonna move, but she's definitely sensing something.
Okay. It's crazy how dogs have that sixth sense. Like animals have that sixth sense.
Although the leash doesn't move this time, her dog goes ahead and does this. For some reason, it's at the same time the leash is on the steps that her dog begins to search for something. But like before, nothing appears to be there. Sydney even checks the rug to see if anything on or under it was making her dog behave this way. But still, nothing.
I would have done the same thing.
There's something in this video that's worth pointing out, and it's a detail that appears in other videos that Sydney recorded of her dog. Watch closely.
So I wanted to show you guys some footage of my dog with these stairs. So here's another clip that I got.
I keep looking at the shadows too.
Walk over and see her, and she was so locked into this.
Now, if you didn't notice, in each video, Sydney's dog is always around a certain area of the stairs. It's always the middle or lower half of the steps, but never the top. If it wasn't for this detail, Sydney would not have realized this.
So I think I figured out why my dog just is always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I tried to check, but...
Okay, not to... Because I'm pretty sure she was scared. I'm pretty sure they're there for a wedding. I'm pretty sure they didn't explore the whole house. From that reaction from the video, it's like, oh, she discovers a door. When I go into an Airbnb or even to a hotel, I check all the rooms. I checked all the closets. I check everything because I've seen too many trafficking videos. I've seen too many kidnapping things, and I've seen too many horror movies. And not too long ago, there was a guy who is in the hotel. He's Indian. I think he might be in India, and there's someone hiding behind the fucking curtain. Like the fucking the drapes move. But anyways, I'm rambling there. I check everything. I go and check all the doors. I check all the rooms. I check everything. So maybe they were just like, they didn't notice it, but maybe they weren't aware of this room, and maybe they just like wrote it off as a closet. But the dog being like that, and we should discover there's a door that leads to that. That's insane. Watch this.
The door is locked. Obviously, it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up.
I'm opening every door. I'm checking everything. Nah, I don't care.
Like what I initially thought. I think it's what's below.
I'd get a butter knife and just
open
open that
space is on the ground. It explains why her dog is never seen on top. She seems to be sensing something that's in this room. But the question is, what exactly is she sensing? Wanting to find out, Sydney and her sister probe around the space to see what it might be that's inside. But during this moment, while recording, they capture this.
What's crazy, there's so much video footage of this shit.
Switch. You guys can see their light is on right there.
If I see footsteps, I'm gonna fucking punch the screen. Oh no. This part fucking made me lose my shit right here. It doesn't help with headphones. It does not help with headphones. I already know what's coming, but it does not help with headphones. Bro. See what I mean? Bro.
Almost immediately after Sydney pulls out her phone,
The fucking doorknob opens. The doorknob starts to open from the inside, and she slid her phone under the door, and it just obviously just shows the ceiling and the doorknob. But so now at this point, without knowing there's a ghost, she might think there's someone in there. So it goes from like, it's still paranormal, obviously, because the leash, the dog being on the fucking staircase the whole time, the balloons moving, and now this. So my head would be like, someone's in here. But that, like, now it's kind of split. Watch this.
Suddenly turns. Although no one was seen on the other side, the door handle moves as if held from the other end.
Oh, there's more. There's more.
Now Sydney was under the impression that a person had turned the knob, so they reach out to the Airbnb host and ask if anyone else is renting the place.
Sent the video
Fuck
to
the Airbnb host.
The landlord of the Airbnb.
I'm calling the police.
Hold on, let me turn asking.
Open this goddamn door real quick.
Is there someone else renting it out as well as us, or what? Because basically he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are
Fuck that.
in the Airbnb right now, like booked out for the week.
After finding out that no one else is inside, Sydney concludes that what happened that night wasn't a case of someone co-renting the house, but rather another paranormal occurrence. To her, this is much preferable over having a stranger inside the house. But despite being at ease now, knowing that it's not a person, the doorknob incident still baffles her. This is so, especially given that it still moves now and then.
I move a lot, I'm so sorry. Someone knocks back, I'm fucking crashing out.
Hello?
Yeah. Scary. Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
fucking keeps moving. And in this part, I thought someone was fucking with it. Right here, I thought someone was there. And even just.
As it turns out, this room was actually a basement, out of nowhere.
I don't know about you, but if something grabs my phone while I'm trying to do that, I am leaving. Or I'm breaking down that door. Depends how I'm feeling. But given the fact that there's other things that led up to this that confirms it's paranormal, I'm breaking down the door. Why? Because if I know it's paranormal and I know it's a ghost, I know there's not a human on the other side. Fuck the Airbnb thing or the rules or whatever or the contract. I'm breaking down the door. So after seeing that, I'm either going to do one or two things. I'm either going to break that door down or I'm going to call the cops. What would you do in that situation? I feel like if I feel like it is a ghost, I'm knocking the door down because there's no other human behind that door. Hindsight is 2020 right now. We know it's a ghost. She doesn't know if it's someone else or it's a ghost or it's both. In this case, I feel like if I saw the leash and the dog is there, I know it's paranormal. I'm knocking the door down. If there's an indication or more evidence of a human, I'm calling the cops. And I would call the cop. I'd call the Airbnb owner and be like, "Hey, I think there's someone else in this little room. I'm calling the cops to open the door for me," and I'm opening the fucking door. I feel like most likely it'd be me and my girl. I feel like if I knew it was a ghost, I would arm myself regardless, because you never know, and bust the door open, or call the cops. Either way, that's so scary to deal with. That's insane.
Phone gets yanked inside before tumbling down the steps and landing on its face. But it's before it tumbles that something weird happens. If you didn't notice, the phone moves on its own again before falling down. But of course, the strangest part is when the phone somehow lifts itself. Neither Sydney nor the Airbnb host could explain this. It just rises up before falling back with no footsteps around to suggest that someone was there. It's no wonder why many see this as being paranormal. To
it's
Sydney
actual
and her
fucking
sister,
basement?
That's exactly the case. Whatever had been inside did not seem to like their intrusion, from the leash moving on its own to the phone being pulled inside. It currently remains unknown as to what exactly occurred here, but as with all videos, you be the judge on whether or not something supernatural took place. As always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
Okay, so it's just a basement. They didn't go, this video didn't further elaborate on it. I kind of want to dig more deep into it. I feel like once the owner came and there's no one underneath, I would still want to check. I'm like, okay, but then how you can't explain the phone going like this, the phone going like this, the phone going like this. Like if the front camera's facing up, you would see the hand, you would see the fingers, you would see something, especially it being thrown back. That's fucking crazy. But we're gonna do one more video. That was a little longer one. I'm gonna keep going. Do number 5. Let's see.
Now, the following video was recorded by a grandmother who lives alone with her dog and 2 cats. However, it appears that her pets aren't the only ones keeping her company, because according to her, there's something in her house that won't leave her alone.
В зеркале было отражение чего-то не очень непонятного на видео. Я вам всем докажу.
According to Polina, last night she recorded a video of something that appeared in her bedroom. It showed up in the same spot where it often appears, around the mirror. She's been trying to get it on camera as her family believes it's nothing. They believe it's her old age that's making her see things. But after watching this video, they're not so sure now if that's the case.
Okay, you see a shadow figure. It looks like an apparition. It looks like a white ghost. Maybe she needs to clean the mirror. I mean,
Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи отсюда.
You can't be afraid
из
of
моего
him.
дома. Уходи.
Can't be afraid of it.
Я тебя не боюсь.
Yep, gotta clean the mirror. Looks like she's tracking.
Уходи отсюда.
Ooh, hell no. See, I told you she's watching it.
Уходи отсюда.
No.
Я тебя не
Fucking.
боюсь.
Yeah, it's Russian. Oh, you can see it move.
Уходи. Уходи, я сказала. Уходи отсюда. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
Lady, it's okay to run.
After Polina realizes that what she'd seen wasn't there, she catches sight of this, a dangling ornament beneath the lamp, moving on its own. However, it wasn't just swaying back and forth as one would expect. It was curving upwards in a strange manner that neither a draft or wind current could cause. Now, whatever happened that night is something that remains uncertain. In either case, whether paranormal or not, just seeing this out of nowhere is unsettling. But one night, Polina decides to record again because apparently she saw the same figure hiding inside her fireplace. Take a look.
I'm not taking a look. I don't want to take a look. Why am I watching this? The audio's cutting in and out. Why do I...
Like something out of a nightmare, what looks like a head suddenly appears on the fireplace.
Holy
and the
shit.
freakiest part is that it shows itself right when Polina starts to get close. It's as if whatever this was had realized she was approaching. Understandably, she was freaked out by this, but more so after going back to the space and seeing the fireplace completely empty now. Like before, what she saw initially is now gone. Now currently, no new videos have been shared by Polina, whether supernatural or something else.
Amen.
These two clips are with...
Amen. Props to anybody grabbing their phone and just recording the paranormal happening, because you can't explain it. And now there's proof. Like, I believe in science and I believe in ghosts and everything like that. You can't. I would have a hard time listening to a scientist explain this to me. Like, oh, there's a giraffe and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, bro. Look at this. Look at this. And you can see it. You could see it move. Balls of steel. Balls of steel.
Doubt pretty terrifying.
Okay, one more. I'm going to do 3. This thing is getting kind of long, but the first one was longer. The first one was long. I did a second one. One more. Let's keep going.
Now, the following video comes from a young mother named Akina, and ever since having her first child, she's been posting numerous videos of her baby boy. It's her first child, so it makes sense that she would want to capture every moment involving her son Ponko. From the time he was born to the moment he got his first playpen, Akina has been sharing lots of memories involving Ponko on her page. However, not every moment has been shared online, and for good reason. On January 29th of 2024, at around 2:30 in the morning, Akina was dead asleep when she suddenly woke up to something in her bedroom. Thankfully, little Ponko was unaware of what was happening because during this moment, something pretty frightening happened.
Ponko, you gotta get up.
The following is what was caught. Take a look.
Oof. Could be the wind, but if there's no windows open and there's no AC, anything like that, and it's it looks like a heavy ass door and there's stuff on it, it's not moving. That's a ghost. Ponko, shut the door, dude. Oh shit. Of course. Why wouldn't it not just close? Oh no, she closed it right now. Okay. Glitched. Okay, it looks like the mother went outside and the door is going back and forth. There's a strobe light in the room. Whatever this is causing it, things to malfunction. Ponko, get up, dude. Get the ghost out of here. Looks like wait. Oh no, this is bottom. Oh yeah, it's causing malfunction in the room. Too bright for Ponko, dude. Look at him. What the hell? Oh. This happened in 2024, 2 years ago. That light's bright as hell, too. This battery pack's about to die from my light. Better hurry.
It's no wonder why Akina didn't want to share this video initially. Now, besides the fact that the door opens and closes all by itself, there's something Akina mentions that makes this whole video even more terrifying. According to her, at this moment, she had seen a figure standing at the doorway which looked a lot like her husband. But the weird part about this is that her husband had not come home from work yet. It was only a few hours before he came back, but strangely, to Akina, he was there, just staring at her from a distance. Now clearly, no one is there. However, if you listen closely to the audio, you can hear Akina's security alarm going off as though someone entered the house.
Damn.
It's for this reason she leaves the room
That's
to
why she
turn it
gets
off
up.
and to chase her husband, who was walking away at this point. But it's from this moment that things start to get creepier, because not long after, Akina acts strange. From standing motionless at the door
Yeah,
to
it's almost like
quickly
she
coming in
froze.
and sitting down in a rigid manner, it's almost as if Akina was someone else. But as it turns out, she was just scared. Because
Yeah,
after
you
heading
could- you-
downstairs to
you
see
could
where her
freeze,
husband
dude.
had gone, she saw that all the lights were still off and the door still locked. Her husband, as it seems, was not home yet. Freaked out, she heads back up and sits down while trying to figure out what just happened. If he wasn't home,
Gotta be the
then
same
who
thing, dude.
was?
'Cause I ain't going out there. Ponko, look at that shit, dude.
She continues to replay
Ponko,
this
get up.
moment in her head, despite occurring a while ago. But until it's figured out what
Motion
happened, she'll continue to
detected.
keep this video up on her page while sharing more videos of her son. For
About
now,
time, Ponko,
this
dude.
occurrence remains a mystery.
I'm just kidding. It's okay, Ponko. You at the bottom. Those are 3 videos from Scary Compilation Volume 109 from Bizarrebub. I think if obviously the Airbnb one is the most craziest one, because it's like you don't know if it's a spirit or a human. Everything says spirit regardless, or haunted for sure, but being trapped in like behind that door that you didn't know was a basement. Now I would have more questions. I'd be like, you heard someone run up the stair, and then there's a stairway going down, but then the leash went up, and then the phone just, just moving on its own, and even with the camera, it didn't catch anything. Dog just standing there. The dog itself verifies it all. If I were to buy a house and the dog doesn't want to go in, I ain't buying the fucking house. I'm moving. I don't know what I'm doing. The second Russian lady, that's fucking crazy. It was only like 2 instances where, like, I guess like this beaded rosary or whatever it is kind of curves up, and then the face trying to manifest at the chimney. That's fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy. And then Ponko, the ghost, is attacking your mom, and you don't want to get up. I'm kidding. I was Ponko at one point. But that's still crazy how, like, I think an apparition can come by and just pretend to be your spouse or someone you know and just act strange. And the fact that even at the doorway, you can tell that she just stood there. It looks like she froze, or looked like she was confused of what was happening, went back to sit back down, because when encountering this stuff, your mind is trying to process what's happening, and it doesn't know what to do, because your brain will automatically be like, I've been in this scenario before, I know what to do. It's kind of weird. Like I said before, like your consciousness knows what's a ghost and what's real and what's not. That's what happened to ghosts. And even on the security camera, it said motion detected. Those are 3 ghost stories I reacted to Bizarrebub. I'm gonna keep it brief. I don't want to go the whole video. If you want to watch the rest of the video, I'll leave a link down below in the description. I love Bizarrebub. I love their content. I've been watching for like the longest time. But anyways, that's all for today. My name is Miggy, and this is Miggy's Macabre. And I think next video is, I gotta see Iron Lung. I've heard mixed reviews on Iron Lung. Send Help was great. Fucking Send Help was amazing. And then we got the Strangers Chapter 3 on Thursday. Finally, we get to see what the big deal is, and hopefully they can stick to landing. I know Dracula comes out as well, but I think with Frankenstein, Nosferatu, and even Wolfman, I'm like not burnt out with the monsters, but it's like, all right, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun still the way. But anyways, my name is Miggy. This is Miggy's Macabre, and I will see you all in the next video. I believe on Thursday I'm gonna watch Strangers Chapter 3, and so I'll be giving my immediate reactions here on this channel right out of the theaters, and we can see, hopefully they stick the landing or not. But if not, I'll see you all Thursday for the Strangers 3 movie review. Have a good one.